this matter for a plea and sentencing. Ms. Landgraf, can you please recite the agreement for the record? All right, Ms. Taylor, do you understand the agreement that's been reached? So you're pleading guilty to an amended count of possession with intent heroin under, or it's over 3 grams, but less than 10 as a party to a crime. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Formal motion to amend?
So made.
It is granted. And you're also pleading guilty to 1 count of issue of worthless checks. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that with regards to the possession with intent to deliver heroin of over 3 grams but less than 10 grams as a party to a crime, that the state would have to prove that you knowingly possessed a substance. The substance was heroin. You believed or knew that that substance was a controlled substance, and here it was heroin, and you intended to deliver that, meaning that you intended to transfer that or give that or provide that to another person. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that as a party to a crime, it means that you either directly or indirectly, by aiding, abetting, or conspiring with another person, or you did it yourself to commit a crime?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you understand the maximum possible penalty there would be 15 years of incarceration or a $50,000 fine, or both?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that with regards to issuing a worthless check, the state would have to prove that you wrote a check, and at the time you wrote the check, you didn't intend to have that be paid? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that upon conviction, you face a $10,000 fine, 9 months of incarceration, or both?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you understand here that there is a recommendation? I believe it's cost only for the issuing a worthless check, but as it relates to that felony, that it would be a recommendation of 4 years of incarceration, 2 years of initial confinement, and 2 years of extended supervision with other things. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you understand that I don't have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Said differently, if I thought that based upon the facts of this case, taken in conjunction with all of the other cases that you've been charged with, I can look at those and I can say, you know what? This isn't an appropriate sentence. And I can sentence you to something either lesser, or I can sentence you to something even more
Yes, ma'am.
time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you still wish to proceed and enter a guilty plea here today?
Yes, ma'am.
As to the amended count 1 in 22 CF 146, possession with intent of heroin more than 3 grams, less than 10 grams as a party to a crime, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
As to 22 CM 37 count 1, issue of worthless check under $2,500, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
The court will find your pleas of guilt are done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. I'm going to find that you understand your constitutional rights and what it means to waive and give up those rights. I'm going to find a factual basis to accept your pleas of guilt. Based on that, I will find you guilty of those 2 charges and those 2 crimes. Argument and sentencing recommendation, Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you, Judge. Generally with drug dealer cases, I kind of look at these with the starting point of like 3 to 5 years initial confinement is what I usually think of. And then I go up or down depending on how severe it is, how many counts there are, how much quantity, what the history is. In this case, I think we have a joint agreement of 2 years initial confinement with immediate eligibility for ERP. There are a couple of reasons for that. One, when I made the offer, she had no criminal history. Double checking CCAP prior to sentencing today, I see she pled to an amphetamine in Sawyer County 8 days ago. So that is her only prior criminal conviction. She got a fine for that, and she forfeited a signature bond at some point. So she owes the court about $3,000 in that case, and there's no probation on it. So this would be the first case she'd be on supervision for after the initial confinement period. I think given the nature of what it is, I think initial confinement is an important component. Going to prison is. This is a very serious offense. It pumps something very dangerous into our community. It puts people's lives at risk. People die of it. I think that's important to note. Prior to agreeing to this, I checked with Mike Anton, who's the investigator on it, to give, well, essentially the defense claimed that Miss Haler was a lesser part of it, that Charles Mitchell was the main person doing it. So I said to Detective Anton, is there any truth to that? What he said to me is that Charles was the main player with the connections to the cities, and that Lisa did go down on her own once after Charles made a deal, and that he believed that Lisa was a pawn more than anything. So I think that given her lack of criminal history prior to this, I think she's probably an addict. who got involved with the dealer and became a pawn of his, helping him move quantities that were used both to give to her, probably to sell to the community as well. He's been convicted and gotten a more significant sentence as he was the primary player. So for those reasons, I think the 2 years initial confinement's better with the amount. The reason the immediate eligibility for ERP is because she has so much credit that I think she basically needs to be immediately eligible to do the program. With the amount of credit she has, that's like almost a year and a half in the program, depending on what your categorization level is going to be from DOC. Figures out what program you go into. Those are different lengths. So I think there needs to be immediate eligibility for ERP, or else she just won't do the program at all. So for those reasons, I think this is appropriate. I'm going to bring up one niggling thing. I hope the court isn't bothered by it.
Okay, so then we have 494. Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter because DOC is going to tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong anyway. I'm going to get that nice little letter, a day off, or I need to go up or I need to go down. So it doesn't really matter. It does matter to an extent, but it will always get corrected to what the Department of Corrections believes is the accurate amount of jail. So rest assured, Ms. Taylor, I will be informed by Department of Corrections what the accurate day is, regardless of what I say here today, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I figure that I've already done 490 days. One more, either way, is not really gonna matter at this point.
I appreciate you're saying that, but you do have a constitutional right to not
Yes, ma'am.
have to be incarcerated longer than you should be.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Schmidt?
No.
Okay. Argument and sentencing recommendation, please.
I'd ask that you adopt the joint recommendation for all the reasons that I stated in the memorandum. Also, Ms. Haler would like the court to reinstate her cash bond that was forfeited, that her parents posted in the amount of $2,500, so it can pay her costs and fees and restitution in this case.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I don't have anything else. I think I put everything in my memorandum.
I just want you to understand, I understand what I've done, and I claim my responsibility for my part in this. I know that's gonna be hard when I get out, but I plan on I'm gonna start crying. Let's discuss. But I'll be going to a sober house afterwards and keep,
Is that all arranged?
not yet.
Okay. You just have that plan.
I have that plan so that I can continue and get more stability in my life and use those resources to help me get a job, to get transportation, to get housing, so that I can move past the situation. The other thing I want to do is, right now I have a bachelor's degree. I want to go back, get my master's in computer science and blockchain development. So, and I have this plan on how to do it. I think that I've been in county jails for quite a while at this point, and I was up to Bayfield where I've never been. And sometimes I think that Bates has a way of showing you where you need to go, because for the most part, I'm a pretty upbeat person. I like to joke around. And I think, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I think I really did help a lot of girls up there. I turned into Mama Bear, really did. And I helped allow them let their time go faster and just bend that shoulder to cry on. Because otherwise, there's no reason for me to be way up in Bayfield. I would never be up there on my own. So I believe there's a reason that I was there for that long, and that I was there for a purpose. And maybe that's why all this happened. I don't know. But it has helped me see clearer now. And I want to really move past this and not only continue to help others, but get my secondary degree and, have that same ability.
So tell me,
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to be real, because I need to know, because I'm going to tell you, this is not an easy decision, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's because of your criminal history, which is next to nothing other than this and that other misdemeanor, okay?
Okay,
And the fact that you're with somebody who is, we know who is the primary culpable person, who is now in prison for a lengthy amount of time, not forever, but a longer period of time. Now, I want to know, I want you to be real with me. You knew what was going on, right?
yes.
Why didn't you stop it? Or why didn't you say no?
Oh, that's a hard one.
So that's why I'm saying, tell me from your heart.
I'm an addict. I am in so much pain on a daily basis. I was in a car accident when I was 12. I had metal plates in my jaw. I lost all my teeth due to this car accident. My nerves never regrew right. So my face, my head hurt constantly, especially in the wintertime, especially with storms. And it is honestly easier and cheaper to get heroin than it was to get prescribed medication. And especially, and I fell into that complacency. I'll say, because normally I always got my pain medication in the wintertime. And I would stop in the summertime so that I didn't build up too much of a tolerance for it. And I've been on opioids for almost 20 years at this point. And they're one of the few things that work for my pain. Like I said, I got complacent. Normally, it's just I'm trying to think of how I want to state this.
Bluntly, I like blunt.
It got to a point that I would do damn near anything to get my pain out. I couldn't function. Literally, I'd be in bed and I'd have to be in a dark room, no lights, no sound, really cold, and just sit there because every little nerve was on fire. I mean, I get electrical, feels like I get electrical shocks up and down my face because I haven't had Botox in a while. My whole face twitches, my eye twitches, and it feels like I got a vice grip on my temple squeezing, metal spikes being shoved into my ears. And you know that deep down bone pain you get with like a bad tooth? I have it throughout my whole jaw all the time. It's hard. It's hard as hell to deal with it. And I've been to pain clinics, and it just when when we moved back up here, it was to the point where I was, like I said, I was lazy. I was complacent. It takes about 3 months for me going to a doctor to get the pain meds. Because I gotta try all this other stuff out, and then with the opioid epidemic and everything like that, it's hard. You know, and I didn't want to wait. I wanted the solution. So I took the easy way out and got the heroin instead.
Why did you start to get involved in the dealing or the delivery?
Because it would be, we would get paid in product and some cash. And with this lady, the CI, she should not have been doing it one way or the other. The week before,
Talking about Miss Bowman?
yes, the week before, I Narcaned her 4 times.
You see what happened to
Yes.
her, she's dead.
Yes, and the thing is that we always carry Narcan with us, always. So for us, for other people, it got to a point where people would call us instead of calling 911 and I would run over there with the dart can. I never lost anyone. And Miss Boatman would not stop. We knew she would not stop. If she didn't get it from us, she'd get it from someone else, right? And we knew that at least with us, she'd be alive the next day. So I honestly did not like that woman. I didn't like her. But I have enough, not even enough, but I have the compassion and empathy to go beyond my feelings. I didn't want her dead. So I saved her over and over and over again. And I even told her the week before, maybe you should stop because obviously this drug does not like you. And we do that she had an addiction as well. We know that. And I guess it was more the lesser of two evils. I knew I could keep her alive when she was with us.
That's not your responsibility.
I
But it's also it's not your job, and you can't sell or deal to her or anyone else.
understand that. I do.
Maybe it is your responsibility to keep her alive if you gave her drugs, because otherwise you could be charged with homicide.
Yeah, I didn't want that. So yeah, that's that's it in a nutshell. I mean, we didn't plan on going down to the cities and getting anything. Kathy is the one that had the money, gave us the money. She let us use her car. Oh, we didn't have any cash at the time. We weren't gonna go anywhere. And so when she asked us to go down and get her some stuff, sure, why not? And then I would probably be living with her for a couple days to make sure she didn't die. And that wears on a person too. But like I said, it's one of those things that I knew that if we told her no, she would go somewhere else and
That's
she
not
would
your
end up dying.
responsibility.
I understand that, but it kind of felt like it. We we didn't get her started. She was heavy into this before we ever met her. We got sober there for a while, and she was still calling and we're telling her no. And then we kept hearing that she was ODing again. And I understand it's not my responsibility. I really did. And I understand that I made some poor choices. But I've tried to I guess I don't know the word I'm looking for here. If I knew that with us, she would have another chance, or she would be alive the next day.
Well, let's stop talking about Miss Boatman.
Yeah,
She's
okay, yes,
quite honestly dead and gone.
yep,
And you can't help her or fix her or keep her alive anymore regardless.
right,
So let's concentrate on that, the dealing aspect. Was it just Miss Boatman? Were
yes,
there other individuals? So you simply went and purchased heroin to supply to Miss Boatman and to you and Charles?
yes. She passed away last January.
Yeah,
Yep.
he OD'd.
Yep,
So
Yeah.
it was the four of them, right?
and her son. I drank hand all three of them. I mean, like I said, I would get called to go dark hand people instead of calling 911 because they're scared to get arrested. And we always had a lot on us for that reason. I'm not saying I tried to save the entire res out there, but
So what's your plan? What's your plan? And I know you said that you want to go to a sober living facility. But what's your plan? What if you can't get into substance abuse programming in prison?
I want to get
And just like that, the courtroom is left with one final question. Can someone truly leave their past behind, or do some choices follow them forever? Lisa Taylor admitted her role, accepted responsibility, and shared a vision for a different future, one focused on recovery, education, and rebuilding her life. Whether those promises become reality is something only time can answer. Cases like this remind us that every courtroom is more than a place where laws are enforced. It's where difficult decisions are made, accountability is demanded, and sometimes, second chances begin. What do you think? Did the proposed sentence strike the right balance between punishment and rehabilitation, or should it have been harsher? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this courtroom breakdown and want to see more real legal cases explained from start to finish, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next courtroom drama. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next case.